I'm delighted to introduce you to this very first one, Robert Buchanan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. Have you ever lost your luggage? What a terrible experience it is, right? How about germs? COVID has certainly shown us the need for traveling clean, but is your luggage clean? With all these different moments of exposure, travel begs for the question of, can we do better? As an insulin-dependent diabetic since age 10, I've traveled for years learning to avoid these exact problems. And I can assure you, we can do better. For that reason, I'm here today to share with you the future of travel luggage. Now, my name is Robert Buchanan. I am the founder of Adhere Gear Technology. Our company is focused on the deployment of a shared-use smart luggage network for passengers. In travel, we face some serious problems when it comes to our luggage. Exposure to a variety of germs, lost luggage, overweight fees, along with safety concerns in a public space. We found it all boils down to 4 basic questions. What's inside? Where's it going? How much does it weigh? And is it clean? Adhere Gear Technology is eliminating these risks with one item we all use: luggage. With hardware and software on the inside, we're creating the opportunity to track luggage, know the weight in real time, and create a clean, safe space. In addition, our luggage is positioned to be 10 times stronger and half the weight of traditional luggage. This allows us to travel clean, safe, and sophisticated. Now, the market's positioned extremely well for these innovations. Travel as a whole is a $7 trillion industry with US luggage at $2.9 billion annually. Despite COVID, travel is not only coming back, it's coming back fast with 1 million passengers per day right now. More than enough volume to see a shared use model do extremely well. So who's our target customer? We're aiming for the business class first. They make up 28% of the market, traveling 3 to 5 days per trip, 6 to 9 trips per year. Collectively, they account for almost 75% of profits. So what's our go-to-market strategy? It's a shared use B2B model. For $9.99 per passenger per day, a company can offer the smart luggage as a travel work perk to its employees. What's clever is that you'll pick it up and drop it off from where you work. No change in routine. Okay, let's talk traction. We have a working prototype. Our next steps are to slim it down by 70%, produce 100 pilot test units, and deploy focusing on PDX and LAX airports. We're working directly with Autodesk Inc. and are in direct conversations with AirAsia, Travelocity, and JetBlue, just to name a few. Our team is made up of a collection of well-traveled professionals with exceptional experience from Hyatt Resorts, PDX Airport, NASA, Michelin, and Intel. In summary, we're not just here to change luggage. We're here to redefine it. With your investment, we can ensure that those that travel are equipped with the very best tools needed to navigate that experience safely and sustainably. Thank you.
Beautiful pitch. Thanks, Robert. So shared use, so this means that I check my bag out from work. Okay.
Yes.
As a person who packs at 11 p.m. for my 6 a.m. flight, being able to take it home the night before sounds great. So why do I, as an employee, want to pick this bag rather than my beat-up carry-on that I'm used to carrying?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for starters, it is, if you love the luggage you have now, which is a lot of the case, right? You're gonna love what we're doing because it's 10 times better. Like, everything is more robust in it, everything's stronger, it keeps your items sanitized and clean, no more having to worry about this emotional, like, is my lost luggage gonna happen? There's just a lot of benefits that are great for the passenger, so.
And why does a company want to purchase this? How does it save the company time, or how does this create efficiencies for a big company?
Absolutely. So for sure, we're creating a sustainable model. So any company that's interested in looking at travel in general, how do we get it to a better health front and sustainability? That's a big pull for them. But on the passenger level and on the employee level, you want to offer your employees benefits that are going to help improve and position them for these business trips. This gives a lot of confidence as you travel that you're technologically equipped with the right tools, you're going to mitigate your exposure to germs, you're also going to know that your stuff, your personal business items, arrive at their destination. All these different pain points can be eliminated for that average business passenger.
So it seems like when I go to the airport, everybody from TSA to the airlines to the gate agent is in just a panic about the possibility that there may still be a battery in my away bag when I am getting on the plane. It seems like this is a big problem. But if yours is a smart bag, it must
Yes.
have a battery. So how are you getting around this like general reluctance?
Yes. Yes, that's a fantastic question. The thing that's interesting with batteries is that our luggage is so tiny on the energy. It's a 5-volt system. It's very simplistic. TSA has 2 basic rules. One of them is 300 amp hours, as well as the ability for it to be removed. So their maximum is equivalent to 36 cell phones. Our system that we have built is only equivalent to 6 cell phones. We're not even close to the extreme. The more important factor here, though, is that we're working with TSA and FAA, and we'll continue to do so. So by the time we get to market launch, everybody has given thumbs up and stamp of approval that this is what we need in our system, and we're ready to usher it in. So,
Shannon, are there any online questions?
Yes, actually, for Adhere gear, how much do you think you'll ultimately need to raise to get Adhere gear product into market?
that's a fantastic question. So $500,000 gets us to our 100 pilot test units, our 1,000 beta test units, and ultimately positions us for our 10,000 unit run. What's interesting about the impact of one luggage on shared use is one luggage has a stretch of 100 passengers in a year, versus traditionally our system we do now, luggage impacts 1 person in a year. So it doesn't take a lot of volume to actually see a big difference. 10,000 units hits 1 million passengers in a year. So.
And we have another question from the audience. Does it have charging ports for devices?
Absolutely, yeah. We have a USB port in the back, and the version that we're looking at to final for market, we're looking at wireless charging. To be able to just put your phone on it and then wirelessly charges.
Beautiful.
So Robert, as you go to market, what sort of company is going to be travel rich and big enough to to support a business like this? Who's your dream customer?
Yeah, I'll be totally honest. Nike has been on our list for a while. We've got a lot of great metrics on how often they travel. They are a very heavily traveled company. They are local to us. So we target the companies that do have essential needs to travel, especially domestic, as well as global. Another great one that we've been working with directly is Autodesk Inc. So I'd say those are our top 2 that we're definitely aiming for.
And this is a perfect question. Ben leads the country in remote workers. My company does not have a location where I travel from. How do you envision overcoming this scenario?
Yeah, so I think what they're asking is like, if I don't have a locker to go pick up my Adhere gear suitcase
Is it like next
from,
to the
like,
red
can
box?
Can I still use it?
Yes. So remote is something that definitely has come up, especially recently with COVID. We are 50% back in terms of a lot of the employees being back in the office. I've got my fair share of personal networks where some are still at home and some are at work now. So based on that volume, we track, just how many passengers are traveling, and 1 million per day is plenty. Looking at the remote side, our phase 2 is looking at leisure. And so that will make it way more accessible and not having to go to the office. But when we crunched the numbers, we found we're going to start and laser focused on the business class, build a great foundation on that, and then later on, 5 years from now, we'll expand into leisure travel. So.
And will you have rental stations in airports? So that could be another way to solve that problem.
Yes, so we totally have diagnosed a lot of the different business models. Your Blue Rhino, your U-Hauls, your Red Box. We priced out what does it take to create some of those kiosk type of machines for that experience, and we think it's a great for the leisure class once we reach that point. We also think that in terms of economically, the price will probably come down to $4.99 per day by the time we reach leisure. Again, there's way more volume available, so the price, the economics check out. So.
Robert, I don't check a bag very often, but I know part of what led you to work on this product was your own experience kind of being grossed out by what happens to a bag when it gets checked. And I'm curious, can you just tell us, how you came to this idea? What personal experience drove?
Yes, yeah. So it's a twofold answer. So again, going back to the origination for myself, being an insulin-dependent diabetic, for 25 years I've traveled, and it was always a pain to have my personal items always mishandled or exposed. And then things like COVID happen, and it kind of shows that is not an isolated issue just for somebody like a diabetic. Everybody experiences that. So that was the origination of it. But one of the interesting things that we did was we actually went to work at PDX Airport for the 3 a.m. shift. And we wanted to understand exactly how luggage moves throughout the process. So we got to witness and be in there in the trenches and moving these luggages and all these different cargo to see, okay, how much exposure happens, how does this need to be designed so that it can really handle this environment and have a great wear layer for a 5-year shelf life on a shared use product. So yeah, it's between those two that we're building this awesome product that can really impact travel and make it sustainable. Great question.
Very cool. So imagine it is 7 years from now, which is ideally when I would like to get an exit from an investment. Who are you selling Adhere gear to, or does it go public, or what happens?
Yes, fantastic question. We envision that's going to be an IPO exit strategy. We do also anticipate, though, that there will be some interesting luggage manufacturers right now, one of them probably being Samsonite, who will take a lot of interest. At the end of the day, though, given the volume of passengers every day that travel, and let's do a pre-COVID, it was 2.6 million. During COVID, we're at 1 million. It's about a 1.5 year recovery before we hit our 2.6 million again, and it's going to rise from there. There's more than enough business on a daily basis for all the luggage companies to still do their thing. So we think an IPO is going to be our best exit strategy. Yes.
So I think this question sort of elaborates on what you were just speaking to. Why would you not start with leisure and rental stations? What makes the business sector more attractive to your company?
Yes. So the business class is the most technologically savvy in terms of traveling. They're also, their frequency of travel is higher, that rate. So it's 6 to 9 times per year. The average leisure class passenger only travels for about 7 to 14 days, and it's only for 1 to 2 trips. So that volume drops. Yes, there's more of them, but we want to get that frequency going and really build the company off of that first. The economics work out better in terms of accessibility for a leisure class to have even easier access in the office, which is an automated kiosk. But those cost money, so we wanted to build a foundation first that was a very strong cash flow positive company, and then build on there to enter leisure. So 2 great opportunities, but we're focused on business class first.
Robert, you keep saying we. Who is on your team?
Yes. So we have Dr. Micah McCrae. He's a PhD in industrial engineering, fabrics, materials, science. Amazing professional individual with an expertise in what we need to do to ensure that we continue to hit our metrics on making sure it's 10 times stronger and half the weight of traditional luggage. Being that we're in the 21st century, we feel like there's an opportunity here to take luggage to that new place and kind of leave the old luggage in the 20th century. Raimundo Garcia has great experience, 10 years in distribution and sales, very critical to as we continue to evolve our model and build that foundation for the business class. So we've been compiling a lot of those lists of the companies in our 2 regions, PDX, Portland, as well as LA, given those are our focal points for right now, and he's been critical in assembling that. So.
Awesome. This last question just says, I want my own, which I don't think is a question. I mean, I know that.
I know. Is that just like a yes or a no, or like, meet me after class, or?
Same.
Robert, really beautiful pitch. Thank you so much. I wish you all the luck, and it's great to see you again.
Thank you.
Thanks
you,
for
everyone.
being here.